begun to keep that place in bridge and stair, in turn and pace, in market dusk, in borrowed room, in little habits given bloom. Not home, no, never anything so soft as what the living sing, but something made by shared return, a city where the hours could learn. Then one black impulse crossed, it seemed the walls stood whole, the roof still gleamed, no fallen gate, no shattered span, only the life stripped out of man. The streets remained, the essence left, stone kept the form that breath had kept. Confluentia stayed in view, Confluentia was no longer true. Where breath had lately been, through market row and empty inn. The stalls were set, the doors were fast, the shape endured, the pulse had passed. I knew this texture not the same, yet near enough to wake the frame of older fields where power and blood had made the air forget the good. I have not kept much from that war, most names dissolved, most faces blurred, but certain kinds of wound remain, too sharply cut, too thin with years. Not slaughter merely, not the dead, a theft more inward, colder spread. When force exceeds the flesh it slays, and leaves the world in altered phase. Do not ask what thing I saw, as though I answered grief with law. I saw an interval made wide enough for thousands to divide, from breath to nothing in one turn, because one heart forgot its reign. Non fabula sed mensura. The fact was not obscure. We took a ledger from a hand, too eager not to understand. Not room addressed as civic art, but district tally, line and chart. I read the figure once, then twice, it did not alter, soften, lie. 72 of every 100, that was the measure left there under all witness, ash and shaken breath. This was no common field of death, no siege, no flame, no breach defense. One living breach withdrew the sense. Ceres read the margins for a sign, forwards too close to older lines. I read procedure in the hand. Who counted first? Who moved? Who scanned? She followed doctrine's hidden thread. I followed where the living bled into a grammar powers use before they know what they accuse. I will not lend the old world's art that carves a warning from a heart. I know too well what fear can make when men require a name to take, but neither will I smooth him down to some bright wound too love to sound. What stood at Confluentia's core was this, a will that slipped no more, and by that slip the essence fled from 72 parts of the dead. So call him what cold terms infer, a threshold clothed in blood and nerve, a civic peril made to breathe, a living breach with cause beneath. I had already said as much, in rougher form, too near the touch of what in her I mean to keep, that if forced choice cut caution deep, I would decide at once for her. Desire had spoken first there. Je le savais, je n'ai rien retiré, yet wanting death is lesser art than learning where to place the heart, when judgment must not yield too fast to appetite, or fear, or past. He is not my question's end, he is the crack through which it bends. If such a being walks this age, then something older seeks the stage. Not prophecy, the one beside me tracks that thread. I look instead for what is fed. Whenever power of this kind makes clerks precise and rulers blind, makes cautious men collect, compare, makes scholars test corrupted air, makes letters travel after dusk. I know the scent of systems when they learn to feed on fear again. And more than that, his existence woke in her the end she used to seek, an end I once could face with calm before I loved her past retreat. I saw it rise, almost take shape before she closed it with one word. Not yet later, I heard enough. The sentence broke, but still I heard. So no, I did not stay my hand because I think him harmless, stand or by the grief that made him rise. If I delay, it is for this. No prophecy, no analyst, no city, no archive, sect or plea will render him before it's me. Non absolvo, non adhuc. The verdict waits because it must. She reads what names intend to do. I read what structures gather to. And side by side through emptied light, we keep one privilege tonight. Not mercy, not consent, not grace, the right to judge at proper pace. The city where our hours had learned now kept no hour to be returned. Ainsi soit-il. Let the living day belong to those still built that way. What remains is never severe. She follows doctrine, I follow fear. Where frightened strangers stared to zeal, would seize the language of the real. Confluentia stands, its life is gone. We left, the after had begun.